guys, welcome back to LS Vintage Design. I hope your January has started off with an antique or vintage vibe. Today we are going to talk about the 2026 color of the year. Now, depending on which source you go to for the color of the year changes. So I'm going to give you 4 different colors of the year. I'm going to give you the Pantone, P-A-N-T-O-N-E color of the year. That seems to be the most widely top color of the year, but I'm going to give you Sherwin-Williams color of the year for 2026. I'm going to give you Behr's color of the year, and I'm going to give you WGSN's color of the year as well, because they're all different, and if you don't like one, go to another one. It's still the color of 2026. Besides giving you the color of the year, I'm going to give you compliments for whichever particular color of the year we are talking about. Why am I doing this? This is a vintage channel, and 2026 is very much now, because I'm going to give you ideas of how you can use these colors to brighten up vintage items, antiques in your home. Maybe you find something that you love, but you can't use it in its original state. It's just too beat up. So these will give you some ideas of how you can mix the vintage with the modern. So come on and let's meet all of these colors of 2026. The first one is Pantone, P-A-N-T-O-N-E. And as you can see up on the screen, it's called Cloud Dancer. That is white, an off-white. It's not a true white. It's not a cold white or what they call a polar bear white. It's kind of a gray white, if you ask me, or it has a little bit of a taupe in it. So it's an off-white. So it is white. And what goes with that Pantone color 2026 of the year? As you can see here, you can mix it with pastels. There it is. It's the 4th one down, called Cloud Dancer. Now, the more I look at that, I even think it's a very light toned gray. And as you can see here, it's paired with some pastel colors in that same family or brand Pantone. You could also pair it in that same family with some darker colors to get more drama. So when you look at the Pantone Cloud Dancer, which in this section is at the top, you get colors to pair it with, and it's the same with the other ones too. So let's go to our Behr color of the year. This beautiful green. I love green. This is kind of a darker sage green to me, but at Behr it's called Hidden Gem. This is their 2026 color of the year, and I absolutely adore it. Behr also has colors that you can pair their color with. Now you can see the Behr color of the year is the big long one in the middle. Around it are all the colors it pairs with, and if you notice, they're all in nature colors. They're all very organic colors, and I love the Behr color of the year. I think it is one of the prettier ones. So Pantone has the Cloud Dancer, which to me is a light gray. It has some darker colors that it will pair with to pop, and it also has pastel. Behr is doing a more nature, a more earth and palette for 2026. Sherwin-Williams color of the year is probably way easier, way simpler. It is simply, as you can see, it's khaki. And as we know from wearing khaki clothes, khaki pants, skirts, khaki goes with everything. So Sherwin-Williams color is khaki. They didn't really pair it with anything because, hey, we can pretty much do that ourselves. The last color of the year we're going to talk about is WGNS's color of the year. And their color of the year is, let me find it. WSN's Color of the Year for 2026 is this top color of this little color palette I'm showing on screen. It's the top color. It is a beautiful teal color. Now WGSN is a little more bold with their pairings for their teal. They pair it with what's called a wax paper or a very light tan. They pair it with a purple, a brown, and of course that beautiful green glow at the bottom, which is kind of a chartreuse. And that teal and that chartreuse together, you may think, oh my gosh, they're crazy, but it really works when you see them in a setting. So those are all the 2026 colors of the year. We have quite a range, and like I said when I started, you can pick your favorite. So I showed you all those colors of the year, and like I said, you're probably going, why? This is a vintage channel. Why are you showing us 2026 colors? Because it's always important, if you want to have a great feel to your home, that you mix the vintage or the antiques with the modern. Could you live in an all vintage or an all antique home? Yes, you could. But it's going to be overpowering. It's going to be suffocating. Just the same, yes, you can have all modern furniture. You can have all, within a few years or a few decades furniture, and most people do, and it's fine. But that too can get old. Have you ever noticed how maybe your mom or you or your grandmother want to always change things up, move them around? Move them around. That's because you're tired. You have furniture decoration fatigue. And I've got some easy ways that you can brighten up and add nuance to those older pieces, whether they're vintage or antique, to go with today. Now, I have a vintage dining room set in my dining room. I have a vintage dining room set, and these are the chairs. Now, these chairs are in really good shape. They're not stained. They haven't aged too bad at all. They're not worn, so I keep them, and they're also in that beautiful bare green color of the year. You thought I was lying when I said my home wasn't that color. I was not. And as you notice, that color is paired with other earthly colors and flowers. So these chairs are very 2026 while also being their true 1940s chair. But here's the deal. What if you had some chairs that these were worn, that they were frayed, they were too stained, but you love the chair itself? I mean, look at those lines, look at that wood, right? And you wanted to do something to bring your vintage dining room set into the modern era. Besides, of course, doing a modern display, tablescape, table setting, table centerpiece, you could reupholster your cushions in any one of the colors of the year, and then use the complementary colors in your tablescape. That's a beautiful way to marry vintage with modern. And when they say color of the year, people only think paint. But no, it goes for your fashion, for your textiles, for your paint. It all combines into one. And this would be a case of combining the fabric with textiles on your table. And you could even paint a wall in your dining room, or like mine is I have the chair rail in my dining room. I could paint a light and a dark color of the year. I am not, my eyes are bad, I need very light, bright walls. But that's always an option. You can mix paint with fabric and textiles to create a mix of vintage and modern. So seat cushions, if they are upholstered, great way to throw in that color. Painting furniture itself. And this can be chairs, this can be cabinets, But here is a bedroom suit. Here's a chest of drawers. You could paint this in one color. You could paint the bed frame and night tables there in another color. So using paint on furniture, those are vintage pieces. It would be a great way to revive them and add a wow to a vintage piece or an antique piece. Now, I know there are those out there that says, please don't paint antiques. I am one of them. But if the antique wood is showing its age and wear, it needs to be saved. Or I'll be honest with you, I'm to the point where if painting furniture and saving these old pieces from the landfill will get you to buy them, then paint them. Paint them. And if you want to marry that modern with that vintage, paint them one of the colors of the year. Paint them whatever color or color palettes spoke to you. Because this is your space. You don't want to get decor fatigue, because decor fatigue is a real thing. Now, another way you can incorporate colors of the year is through glass. There is vintage glass in that beautiful teal color from WGSN. There is beautiful glass in khaki, believe it or not. There's beautiful glass in that teal color. There's beautiful glass in that green color, okay? Then you marry flowers or other plumage in the supporting colors. If you got a teal vintage vase and then you put some of those purples and that neon lime green chartreuse in there with a little bit of that brown to ground it, that would be a stunning arrangement. You're using modern colors in a vintage vase. You can also get a crystal vase. A lot of vintage crystal out there. You could spray paint glass. They have wonderful glass paint now. Don't be afraid to alter. And don't be afraid to use flowers and other plumage to bring that color of the year in a crystal vase. Those colors go together. They give you those color combinations for a reason. Just like you could put an outfit together with those color combinations, you can put a floral arrangement together. And it doesn't have to be expected. Do the unexpected. It's going to catch people's eye because of the color combinations mixed with a beautiful vintage vase, either of one of the colors or crystal. If you have an antique bed frame, put modern color combinations on it. Don't go with the chenille bedspread or the quilt. I mean, quilts are great. I have my grandmother's quilt on my bed that she quilted. But put those under the blankets. Put the pretty today colors on top, because those pretty bed linens in today's 2026 colors paired with that vintage bed, oh my God, it is going to look amazing, and it's going to make you happy to be in your space. And when other people come in your space, whether you do it with a vintage couch with the colorful 2026 pillows, or you have vintage shaped chairs, even if the chairs themselves are not vintage, though if they're from the 80s, guys, they're vintage. If they're from the 90s, it's fine. If they have that shape like vintage, like this shape right here, the wingback chairs, that's a classic shape. That shape goes back through time. If you have chairs that shape and they're in a muted color, pair pillows in the new colors of 2026, they will pop. It's just a matter of mixing the antique, the vintage with the new and creating a happy relationship. And that relationship will make you much happier in your space. You will not get home fatigue. You will not get decor fatigue. You will actually be invigorated. And here's the deal. There are so many colors of 2026. Mix and match. Or do one set of colors for the first part. The second part, do a second set. It doesn't have to be expensive, because you can thrift, you can dye, you can paint, you can buy fabric and put tape sewer's tape or sewer's glue. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it can still be beautiful and easy and unique. Guys, thanks for being here. I will see you next time. Take care.